Hello everyone. In this video, I have President Joe Biden up against Governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin. Now, Glenn Youngkin would be the best Republican candidate they could run. He would lock up a lot of states that Trump struggles in, and I think he would do just about the same as Trump in the Rust Belt, if not a little bit better, just due to his performance in the suburbs, doing pretty well when he won that governorship in Virginia. I think, honestly, he would be the best candidate for the Republicans to run, but he has little to no shot at winning the nomination. In fact, he's not even running yet, but he did mention he was thinking about running for president. So let's get right into this. First state is Colorado. He would actually shift it down to likely Democratic. I think you'd get all the Trump voters still, and being able to branch off into those suburban voters to be able to make Colorado a bit more competitive than usual. In Texas and Florida, I think he would pretty much lock up both these states as likely Republican states. Alaska also would just be safe Republican. I think he'd get most of the Republicans' votes there. Iowa and Ohio would also be about likely Republican. I mean, it's possible he loses a tiny bit of populist Trump voters, but I still think his gains with suburban voters would be enough to keep these states in the likely column and probably win by about the same margin Trump did in 2020. In the southern states, Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia. We'll start out with North Carolina. I honestly think we'd win it by a likely margin. Here's why. He's from neighboring Virginia, and I think he'd be honestly a very perfect candidate for North Carolina to win it by about 5 or 6 points against Joe Biden. Even in Georgia, I think he'd perform pretty well, winning it by 2 or 3. And even in Virginia, I know this is a stretch, but I really think he would win his home state just due to his approval rating. Again, being a governor and having a high approval rating in a presidential election, that'll definitely give your state to you. So it's kind of weird seeing Virginia's right on the map, but it honestly would happen with Glenn Youngkin on the ticket. In the 3 western states, New Mexico would probably still go to Biden, but it'd be by a lot closer of a margin than it usually is, only a 4-point win. In Arizona, Nevada, I think both of these, we've seen moderate Republicans do well in Nevada, and we've seen Republicans who aren't so partisan do well in Arizona. I think Glenn Youngkin can be able to win both these states against Biden. In New Hampshire and Maine, Maine would be a bit more competitive than usual, but Biden would still probably win it by about 5. But Maine's second would go to Glenn Youngkin by a likely margin. He would still get the Trump voters out here. He's not too establishment to piss them off. In New Hampshire, I honestly see this state narrowly flipping as well, even if it's socially liberal. I think Glenn Youngkin being a lot younger of a candidate, being able to appeal to independents would be enough to flip the state Republican. In these 4 states, and Nebraska's second, I think Glenn Youngkin can be able to have a narrow win, and Nebraska's second even. Moderate Republicans do well here. But in these 4 states, I think Minnesota would be closer than usual, still a Biden win. I still think Michigan would go to Biden, just did a Democrats trifecta here, and the trends here I think will benefit Democrats in the long term. But Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, I see both these states narrowly flipping towards Glenn Youngkin. Even though he'll lose some populist rural voters, he'll make up the gains with those voters in the suburbs of each of these states. He would definitely improve on Trump's suburban margins by a lot, because he doesn't have Trump's toxic baggage in the suburbs. So that's really why he would do a lot better. Plus, he's a lot younger of a candidate, and when seen in a debate against a much older Biden, Glenn Youngkin would definitely have that age advantage, while Trump wouldn't have as much of an age advantage because he's basically the same age as Joe Biden anyway. But overall, Glenn Youngkin would have a pretty nice victory against Biden. He would probably win the popular vote by 2 or 3 points, honestly, against Biden. That's what I think would happen. So I'll see you guys in the next video.